Hello, I'm Mike Mackler, the proud athletic director here at Gloucester County Institute of Technology. I'd like to welcome you to the GCIT 2022-23 Winter Preseason Show. The girls bowling team is with us. Coach Holland, Sydney Gonzalez, thank you for coming. So, Coach, we're about a week into the season, I guess, and how are things going so far with the team?
Well, we graduated the whole varsity last year, or most of the varsity. So it's looking to see who's coming out and try and rebuild back up. And so far, it's going quite well.
But to say, last couple of years, some unprecedented success, from the girls bowling team, sectional championship last year, had a state runner-up, so it's just, really good. But again, over the years, it's just the next person up, and we've seemed to have done well with that.
We have, and we've been fortunate every time, so we hope it continues.
So, Sydney, how are things for you and the team going so far?
I've been doing pretty well. I've been pretty consistent lately. I'm just starting to figure out what my average is and everything else. And the team, they're great. They get along. They're all improving so much from last year.
So how long have you been bowling for?
I've been bowling since I was in 6th grade after I watched my brother bowl.
Okay. And what are some of the things you like about bowling?
Bowling, it's just so fun, like the satisfying noise of the pins falling when you get a strike. And because you can get better, so easily.
So going into the season, again, always a good competitive schedule we have. Washington Township comes into the conference this year, so that just makes
it more competitive.
more competitive. And again, some of the big ones, the NJTAC tournament, we have the Tri-County Showcase. The Holiday Bowl always seems that's a nice one to start.
We're defending again. This will be the 4th year defending it. So
and that's always a fun one. I know the kids enjoy that one. So, Coach, I guess, what are some of your expectations you think you have for the team this year?
Well, I'd like the goal to be to win the conference again. Having said that, we're restarting. Sydney's the lone returner for varsity. So we've got to build around what she's doing and what we come in with. And she has. She's already adjusted some things this past week and bowling where we need her to start to be bowling. So if she can keep that up, that'll be a big plus. We do have a newcomer that's showing good promise. And the others are all, right, as she said, everybody's improving. So it could be a tough choice who's going to fill the 4th and 5th spot. But that's a good problem to have.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. It's interesting. The boys were here earlier, and I talked to Coach Ruiz. You have some like Sydney who came in with some experience. We also have those who don't come in. They bowled, fun with their friends and all that. So it has to be interesting how you work that, with the type of athletes that are coming out for the team.
Yeah, you have to work it both ways. You got to work with the experienced ones on fine-tuning their game. And then you got to go over and step it back and go to basics with the new kids. And that's a lot of fun because, to be honest, the last couple of years, we really had a solid team that kind of coaching wasn't needed. Now it's time to get dirty a little bit and show them where to stand, how to throw the ball. So it's challenging, but it's rewarding, so it's good.
So, Sydney, what are some of the goals you hope to have for the team, and what are some of the goals individually just for yourself?
For the team, just keep it up, make those spares, try to get really consistent, and as long as you make them spares, we're going to have a good game. For myself, I say the same thing. Make the spares, be consistent, try to get your average up a little bit more.
Okay. Coach, what's one of the best things about coaching the team here?
It's just a good group of kids, and we try to have fun. We're serious, but we try to make it fun, and they're all willing to learn and improve. And as a coach, you can't ask for more than that. So.
Okay. So what's one of the best things about bowling here at GCIT?
The best thing about bowling is that, unlike a lot of other sports, you're very close. You're very close. Like, you're sitting down looking at each other. If you're not bowling, you're talking about bowling. And it's just great. Everybody gets along.
Great. All right. Well, listen, best of luck to you and the team this year, and I can't wait to go out to the lanes and watch you guys throw.
Come on out. We're ready.
All right. Best of luck to you and the team.
Thank you.
The GCIT girls bowling team.
I let go of the ball a little too late, so it was kind of like spinning off my hand.
With me now is members of the bowling team. We have Coach Mr. Ed Ruiz and Anthony Mausich. Thank you for coming. So, Coach, at the close of last year, I think we closed very strong. The team did very well. And I think the exciting part is you have a few people back, including Anthony here with you. So I got to think you have some high aspirations going into this season.
We do, and the guys are keeping me to it. We have a good team. We have one kid that looks pretty promising. Although he's a junior, but he looks promising as an add to the team. I've been very fortunate in my years coaching that I've always had a pretty solid team. We've not always made first place, but we were always in competition. And people, you got to play GCIT. We got to be on our game. So exciting for the school for the year.
And like I said, I thought the team it just progressed really well at the end of the year and actually won the TCC Showcase tournament again, that was very exciting for the team.
Absolutely.
So Anthony, again, you had a very nice season last year. You made all conference. So coming into this season, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good. We have a nice team. Everybody's doing a really good job pulling their weight. We had a lot of fun last year. We won 2 years in a row, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to maybe making it 3 and see what can happen in the coming season.
Now, how long have you been bowling for?
I've been bowling since I was 3 years old, and my coach found me when I was like 5, and I've been with him ever since. So.
And what do you like most about bowling?
It's a fun sport, though a lot of people don't find it that way. They just do it for entertainment, and there's a lot of competitive value in it, especially in tournaments like when we go to states up north. But I've always found it fun. There's always competitive value to it, and I've always just enjoyed the sport.
Coach, I think bowling is unique that you have people like Anthony who have experience, but you also have people that, like you said, maybe just did it as fun, you had a party or stuff like that. But you kind of get that mix, don't you, of people who come in and with experience and don't. How do you work that all out?
Well, just this past week, with the new incoming freshmen that wanted to bowl, they just thought they would come out and have fun. But once they get out there and just start bowling and they see some of the other guys as well as they're doing, and then they realize, well, wait a minute, I kind of like that. I want to do that. And so you even see improvement after two practices that their skills have improved a little bit, and they're eager. They're asking questions. They're like, how do we do this? How do we do that? So it's always exciting to teach the incoming freshmen and or sophomores that come in. And then we have Carla Hansen, who's was a former bowler, and she's a volunteer coach. And she's a great help to the crew. So
Anthony, what are some of maybe goals that you have at team-wise and maybe as an individual?
Well, team-wise, maybe when I came here freshman year, we went undefeated. Maybe with some other teams losing their seniors and us getting stronger, we might be able to go undefeated again. We maybe go for all 3 years here, try and win every championship. The team's looking pretty good. I'm really impressed with how people have pulled their weight and are progressing. Probably with me, making my corner pins, they're always a challenge for me, but I was just keeping up with practice, pushing forward no matter what happens with other teams or injuries or sicknesses, whatever, and just keep pushing forward, hopefully go for an undefeated season and a win.
Coach, you've been coaching the team for a while. What's one of the best things that you get out of coaching the team?
A lot. Obviously, I've always wanted to see one of our bowlers play, bowl 300. I got to see that through Alex a couple of years ago. But just the way they progress, and I always say this, and I think I say it at every banquet ceremony, is that we just have fun. They just go out there and they have a lot of fun. They know a lot of these guys that they bowl against with. Anthony bowls with a few of them on Saturdays. And they're just good friends. And whether we're competing against each other, with Kingsway particularly, we just have a good time with them. And so it's always awesome to see the kids have a good time with each other.
What's one of the best things about the GCIT bowling team?
We always have a lot of fun. We're always messing with each other, even in practice especially. Everybody's trying to make them lose even though we're on the same team. When games come around, we'll get serious. But we always mess around with each other, have a good time, and it's always a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, listen, best of luck this upcoming season, and I can't wait to see you guys in action.
Thank you.
All right. Boys bowling team. Hello, we are doing the 2022-23 boys basketball preseason show for the winter season. With me now are members of the boys basketball team, our head coach, Mr. McNeil Rice, and senior Owen Bentley. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So we're just about a few days into the season, Coach. coming off of last year, I thought that was a nice season that we had. I thought we did well, had a third-place finish in the tournament in Bracket B. I thought that was nice. So coming into this year, we did lose some seniors. But, so far, what have you seen from the team?
Yeah, we lost like a good amount of seniors, but we replaced them. We have 8 seniors now still left on the roster here. So what I've seen with these guys is they've come in, and since the summer, really since the spring, they've been working hard, to prepare for this season. So I'm really liking what I see, especially with the leadership, especially with Owen Bentley here. Yeah, there's not much more I can ask for a group of guys to come in, work hard, and have the right mindset. So we're ready to go.
Speaking of which, obviously during the summer, guys were here. I know you did that showcase down Atlantic City, in the Vol League. So, Owen, again, we're about a week in. How are things progressing through your eyes?
I think it turned out really well. I think we're actually forming into a team. Some of us haven't played together the whole time. So, we're getting these new kids, freshmen, sophomores, and we're, forming well with them. So, I expect a good year.
Numbers are really good. Had a lot of people come out for the team. And just like you said, and talking to your coach and the coaching staff, seems like you get a nice mix. You have some seniors, but you got some upperclassmen that you think are showing some promise.
Yes. Like I said, we have a couple players that hadn't come out since their freshman year that come in, put the work in the fall, and are ready to contribute and get ready for the season. I like the mix. Like Owen said, we have some young guys, a little inexperienced, but again, with their mindset and their attitude and their work ethic, I think it's something special for them here, and we just want to remain competitive, and we see that throughout the practice. So, yeah, we're ready to go.
So, Owen, what position do you play?
Point guard or shooting guard.
And how long have you been playing basketball for?
Probably since I was 5 or third grade.
What do you like about it?
I don't know. I love the competitiveness of it. It's my favorite thing. So that's why I play sports.
So, Coach, what are some of the things that when you come out for the team, or what do you want the kids to get out of it, and what do you hope to instill in your players?
What we try to create is a family-like environment, and I want the young men to come in and feel that when they're on the court, especially it's a special time. You can't get that back, and I just want them to have a fun experience, but also look back and have learned a little bit more about the game. What I get out of it, like you said, there's nothing more I can ask for a group of guys to come in that are willing to work hard, and it just makes my job a little bit easier with the mindset of the kids that we have on our team. So,
looking at the schedule, I think it's a good schedule. The ambition, obviously, the Royal, it's always a good division to play in, but I think we're doing something different for all the VOTEC schools down in ACIT. I think that's exciting, and we've got an exciting boy-girl doubleheader right off the bat. Right. That should be fun. So, Owen, what are some of maybe your goals, for the team, and maybe as a goal as an individual player? I'm
hoping as a team we can beat Clearview or Kingsway, some of the teams that we haven't beaten in a while. So I'm hoping we can beat one of them, and I'm hoping for me that all the younger people think I'm a good leader to them, and I'm hopefully getting a lot of points this year. So maybe a lot of assists too.
There you go, good stuff. What's one of the best things about coaching basketball here at GCIT?
The best thing about coaching basketball here at GCIT, I know I continue to maybe repeat myself, but it is the work ethic of these young men. And you come in and they just are ready to go. They're willing to learn, they're eager to get better. And again, it just creates an environment of, a great atmosphere. And that's something that, I enjoy waking up and coming to experience that. So,
how about you, Owen? What's one of the best things about playing ball here at GCIT?
I've got to say the players, everyone comes in. It's not we're all friends. We come in, we don't go there, have a bad time. We all come in there having fun. We're all working hard, but it's all fun too. At the end of the day, we're all pretty much best friends having fun there on the court.
All right. Well said. Well, listen, best of luck this season, and I can't wait to see you guys out on the court.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Appreciate it.
GCIT boys basketball team. Here we are with the girls basketball preseason 2022-23 show. With us, 2 members of that team. We have head coach, Mr. Rob Icavone, and senior player, Brianna Gibson. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We're a little more than a week. I think we've started, Coach, and practice has been going on. We had right before Thanksgiving, and now we're back. So how are things going so far with the team?
I think pretty good. Girls are working hard. We had some injuries last week from the sickness, not so much for hurting, but kids are working really hard, and we're both excited. I think it's going to be a good year.
Did a lot of stuff over the summer. We had the summer league here, so and I know that you've had a lot of good numbers out during those workouts too. So, Brianna, how are things going so far?
I think they're doing really good. I feel like at all the tryouts I've been in, this is like probably the biggest group I've worked with. I feel like it's really going to be hard for cuts because everybody's trying so hard. Everybody's getting the plays down packed. There's a lot of freshmen that I've seen like, are you really a freshman? Like, yeah, they're really good. So I'm really excited for the season and how everybody's going to, react and game bonds and all that.
Expanding what Brianna said, good numbers this year. A lot of kids came out, and I know we've talked off camera. He said, you've got some upperclassmen that might be able to fill some spots. I mean, we lost some good players from last year, but you feel like you have some kids that might be able to step in those roles.
Yeah, well, it's funny because one of the things as the coaches we talk about, we lost one of the better players in our league in Grace, but what I loved about the summer is the seniors came back with the we, not me, and they came up with it. That's their theme this year. So I really feel strong that the team concept of basketball you will see even more than in previous years. And it's exciting because we have 10 seniors this year, which is a lot. That's a big number. But they all get along really well. And you could see it and you could feel it through the summer, right on through the first week of practice.
So, Brianna, how long have we been playing basketball?
I started playing basketball when I was in kindergarten, actually. Like, I started in a boys and girls league and then worked my way up into high school. It was really hard, developing to a new coach my first year because, oh, my God, this guy has no idea who I am. Because I was always so used to, I lived in Clayton all my life, so all Clayton coaches knew me from my brothers. And then after that, it's like, oh, my God, we're getting another coach. And I just got used to my first coach, but they were really nice. I love them. They're like a family to me, so really good.
And what position do you play?
This year? I think my position's getting changed this year.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like it's a lot of what I've seen the girls, hey, coach, coach will say, listen, for this game, I need you to do this and you need to do that. I think that, you could speak to it, Brianna. Maybe you do what you have to do for the team.
Yeah, I do everything.
Okay. So going into this season, and I look at last year, it was tough. Our division's really tough. Right. Washington Township's in our division this year. That's going to be, more of a challenge. But, when we went into that tournament last year and we upset the top seed in the TCC tournament, definitely something to build on.
Oh, absolutely. Well, one of the things that we preach is play as hard as you can. And you can't worry about the other teams. Look, we play in a Tri-County, and it's the toughest division. It may be one of the toughest divisions in South Jersey. But as long as they go out and play hard, that's what we want. And our expectation this year is hopefully win one or two of those games, but then the out-of-conference games be as competitive as we can be.
Right.
I tell the girls all the time, don't ever look at the scoreboard. You play as hard as you can, and that takes care of itself.
So, and you talk that's come to your expectations here. What are some of your goals as a team, Brianna, and maybe as an individual?
As a team, I think this year I feel like we need to be able to be a family, because I feel like last year we all were kind of a little separated. I feel like we weren't all we weren't playing as a team. I feel like it was just too much going on. So I feel like this year I feel like we all need to start not even just during practices, but outside practices, start being together more, start being together more and being a team. So, because this is not a one-person thing, it's 5 people on the court. So I feel like as long as we all, contribute together, then we'll be really successful this year.
All right, sounds good. Coach, it's one of the best things about coaching basketball here at GCIT.
The kids. I mean, I've coached a long time, and I've coached a lot of different schools and a lot of different teams. These kids are phenomenal. You cannot ask for a better person. They come in the summertime. We had 20, 25 girls at every workout. That's voluntary, So, and their attitude. I love the way she said it, and the girls are doing it. They want to be a family, and to me, that's so important. For that short time frame that we're together, they're a family, and I love seeing that. So that's what I love about this school.
How about you, Brianna? What's one of the best things about playing basketball here?
The girls, same thing. It's I never would have expected myself to be so close to people that I've never I just met coming into high school. you know, like most of the seniors, like we're all like a real happy family, basically. So it's like, and then the juniors, you know, everybody being able to play together is making it seem like yeah, like this is who I belong, like this is who I want to be around. Like it's just an amazing group of girls, and I feel like we're going to be really successful this year.
All right. Well, listen, best of luck to both of you, and look forward to seeing you out in the court.
Thank you.
Girls basketball team. Hello, we're here with the 2022-23 swimming preseason show. With me now are members of the boys swim team. We have head coach Chris Miller, and we have swimmer Gavin Danzy. Thank you for joining me. So, Chris, you know, it's like I'm going to guess last 5-6 years the boys swim team has had some great success. Has done very well, and you know, I know we've lost some talent from last year, but we have some good talent coming back. So, how are things going so far with practices?
Things are going really well. As you said, we did lose an amazing senior class, and you know they called the bubble year because it was such an amazing group of kids. But we do have depth. We do have some new freshmen that are going to come in and contribute. Gavin and some of the younger guys are now older. Gavin in his senior year, and their times are getting faster and faster. So they're kind of backfilling that in a very good way.
So, Gavin, I know we've just, the season just started, practices and all, but, how are things going so far?
So they're pretty good so far. We got, like you said, a couple new freshmen that can sort of fill up the holes that the seniors left. It was a lot of, big people who left last year, but I think we'll do just as well as we've done the previous years.
So how long have you been swimming for, Gavin?
Oh, God. I want to say I started swimming at Greenfields when I was really young. I want to say about 4 or 5. I started doing lessons, and I started swimming competitively pretty much right after that.
So, and one of the things, again, a lot of people do have experience maybe with the club like GPAC or like Gavin said, they swim for their swim club. But you also get some that maybe don't have as much, but they still come out. So that's got to be interesting, where you have, you're high here, but you have some people that are coming in. So how do you kind of manage something like that?
Well, what you kind of do is, and my philosophy has always been, is don't be a plug, so to speak, in the lane. When we evaluate swimmers, we're not really getting times on them. I'm not really looking to see how fast they are in a race. It's more so, can they handle the practice, and can they, not impede the other swimmers in the lane? But yeah, we do have a large Gavin. Obviously, Gavin and the club swimmers who train all year round, down to kids, kind of in the middle that just swim summer and high school. And then we do have some kids that are just pure athletes that wanted to come out for the first time. And what I enjoy are those kids that are kind of in that boat that really put out the effort and show that they want to be there and realizing how hard it is, but sticking with it. And if they have any aptitude, we'll work with them if we have the room.
And definitely just with the depth you need, because those third place finishes, those points are important too.
Win or lose playoff meets, that definitely in that third lane.
No doubt, no doubt. So now, what are your strokes that you maybe, I guess, are your better strokes, you think, Gavin?
I swim a lot of breaststroke and distance freestyle for the most part.
Okay. So, again, we've won the conference, I think 6 years in a row. Yeah, 6 in a row. So, again, it's always a competitive conference. Kingsway's got a nice team. Clearview's always, this year Washington Township comes in. So, we've got to work it out for them. So, I guess for both of you, I'll start with Gavin. Maybe what are your team goals that you have, and maybe some personal goals for the upcoming season?
Well, I do want to have the team stay undefeated in dual meets to finish out my senior year at least. And some personal goals, I want to go to the states meet. I'm pretty much at the cut for the 500 freestyle by now. I want to see some of the other swimmers from the team at that meet too. So.
Okay, Coach, what are some of your expectations going into the season?
I mean, definitely want to echo what Gavin said. Keeping the undefeated streak going through the conference. That's been a very big sense of pride and kind of what's been our bit of the fuel to our engine, so to speak. And I'd like to see continued success in the playoffs. Last year we got the 3rd seed. We had to move up to the largest conference, for playoffs last year, so that was a bit of a culture shock. But just get back into it, try to make a little run if we can, because we lost some great swimmers, but every school graduated swimmers, so it really kind of depends on how everybody's deck reshuffles to see where we're at the end of the year.
What's one of the best things about coaching a swim team here at GCIT?
It's really the swimmers and their attitudes. I mean, they make it fun. They work hard. They play hard. They have good times at the meets. They cheer. They're very supportive of each other. Usually give me a hard time in the fun ways, and it's all so it's a good camaraderie in that sense. So that's what I really enjoy. It's that team atmosphere that and high school swimming is very unique in swimming in itself, similar to college in a way that a lot of competitive swimming and club swimming is an individual sport. They're on a team, but when they're there that day, it's really about them and their time. There is no team goal, so to speak. Yeah. But in high school, there's points, there's wins, there's losses. So that brings out an extra level of competitive nature with these kids. That's really fun to see.
Well, you Gavin, what's one of the best things about swimming here at GCIT?
Yeah, I do a lot of club swimming, and the meets for high school swimming are very different from those. Like you said, it's a very individual thing when you're doing club swimming. So when you're swimming with like this closer knit group of people in these more competitive meets, it's a lot more entertaining.
Okay. Well, listen, best of luck to you and the team this year. And I can't wait to see the team out in the pool.
Great.
Boys swim team. We are continuing the swimming 2022-23 preseason show with the girls swim team now. Once again, Coach Miller and Chelsea Calhoun. Thank you for being with me. So, Coach, we've had some nice success with the girls teams the last few years. We started off with some practices. The numbers look pretty good for the team. How are things going so far?
Things are going really well. We definitely have. We got some a little better depth this year, I feel. We have some new freshman club swimmers that came on. We really didn't lose any big senior pieces in that regard. So it's nice that now everybody's a year older, a little bit faster, and the group of non-club swimmers that we have, their talent has tightened up a little bit too. So we're going to be competitive in a lot of races, and we'll see how it shakes up.
All right. So Chelsea, again, a returning swimmer from last year, had a very nice year. How are things going so far?
Really good. I've been keeping up with my club season and excited for the next high school season to start.
So how long have you been swimming for?
I've been swimming almost my whole life, probably since I was 3. So yeah, I really love the sport.
So a lot of people like Chelsea belong to a club or going through their swim club season, and then like you said, we have some incoming people. So again, I know we talked off camera a little bit. You think a little bit more depth with the girls swim team coming into the season.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be an improved squad from last year. So I'm excited to see how that pays out and how that actually proves out in the pool, and to see how we compare to the other teams. As you mentioned in the boys segment, Washington Township is coming into the conference now. That brings a very strong girls team into the conference. So between Township and Clearview and Kingsway, the Tri-County Girls Conference is pretty strong. So we'll have to see how we shake out with all that competition.
So, what are your favorite strokes, or maybe your best strokes that you do?
I think I'm best, and definitely my favorite is butterfly. I'm usually better at distance, but sprint's okay too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking a little bit. So, Coach, what are expectations? Again, we have the NJTAC meet, we have the conference meet, counties. And just like you said, our conference is just, that's going to be really a fun year, some good competition. What are some of your expectations for the team?
Well, I think my expectations are built upon our third place finish from last year. Obviously, with Township coming in, that could change the slotting a little bit. But yeah, I think that we're definitely going to be a little bit stronger. So we're really going to see how we compare to the other league. And with the season starting so late now, and we haven't had our first meet as a conference, it's really kind of an unknown right now where everybody's at. So once we have a couple meets under our belt, we'll have a much stronger idea of how we place against the other teams, and that'll give us a good idea.
Chelsea, what are your goals as a team and individual goals you have for the upcoming season?
As a team, I definitely want to try to do our best against all the other people in the conference. There's a lot of tough competition, but I think we can do something together pretty good. And individually, definitely try to get best times in all of the events that I swim, and hopefully pull out some good relays and stuff. Yeah.
We talked before a little bit. Best things about coaching the team. What's the best thing coaching the girls team here?
They keep me on my toes. No, they're great. They're fun. They've got a really strong, rapport with each other, and that shows, and they really support each other. So and then it's kind of fun. And one of the unique things I get as being a coach of both male and female athletes is you really learn the nuances and difference of a male and female athlete. And there's an old adage that was said to me, and I feel it proves true a lot, is that more so speaking of swimmers, is that boys need to swim good to feel good, girls need to feel good to swim good. So usually with the girls, we try to keep it light, we like to have fun, not put a lot of crazy pressure on them, because they know what they need to do and go in the pool to do it. They don't need me yelling at them from that regard. So then they come over and we talk about their swim. So, there's definitely that kind of relationship, which has always been fun and good.
What's one of the best things about swimming here at GCIT?
Definitely my teammates. We're always cheering for each other, at the walls and stuff. It's really great. And definitely when you're swimming, to see your teammates cheering for you, it definitely gives you the extra boost.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to both of you this season.
Thank you.
And the team, and look forward to seeing you out there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Girls swim team. Here we are with the winter track team for the 2022-23 preseason show. With me are members of the boys track team, Coach Wenzel. Hello. Connor De Jesus, thank you for being here. So we're maybe about a week, I guess, in, right, Coach?
Yeah.
Some practices that are going on. How are things so far?
Great so far. It's actually our largest turnout ever. So we're only in our 5th year since we started. And we've got some good freshmen coming out, as well as some of our experienced runners like Connor and some of the other juniors. So things are looking great right now.
So Connor, like Coach said, I think this is definitely our biggest amount of people that have come out for the team. How are things going for you and you think for the team so far?
I do see a lot of good freshmen who are coming in, and we're really lucky for that. I've picked out a couple of freshmen, and I definitely think they have a lot of potential to be really good at this.
So like you said, Coach, we started this 5 years ago, and a lot of it was, our cross-country runners, they wanted to continue to train. We also had some, people that, that did track and field at their home school. This was an opportunity for them to go. And you have an interesting mix where you might have some people who have run before, done some track, and maybe not so much experience. So it's got to be interesting how you try to not coach those that know what they're doing and also learning the sport.
Especially, and it helps that we have so many people who know the sport. We do have quite a few who do participate in spring track or cross country, like you mentioned, and they take a leadership role on, really. Like I said, Connor's already taken some freshmen under his wing. Some of our distance runners, like Gavin Hoover, he's taken some runners under his wing as well. And then the girls as well. Isabella, I think, will be our first 4-year letter winner. She takes the shot putters when they go, and they help me coach and lift up some of the newer kids and help them as well.
So Connor, what are some of the events that you like to do?
I run basically all sprints. I run the 55, the 200, and the 400, but my best event is the 400.
Okay. And what got you into running?
Well, my dad mainly, he saw that I was fast and I enjoy to run and I'm good at it, and it kind of came naturally. So working at it and keeping with it, I know that I can become faster and go somewhere with it.
It's interesting with winter track. There's no real dual meets or anything like that, but we do, we have a TCC showcase. We have a couple other events that we run throughout the year. So, Coach, I guess, what are some of your expectations? What would you like to see from the team for the upcoming season?
Well, like you mentioned, most of our meets are at the bubble with 30 teams as opposed to, like you said, dual meets. So really it's just progression. Each meet just getting better and better. So that by the time we hit sectionals and states, we're at our peak physically, and that we can run against some of the schools that have a year-round track program. So that is the goal, just every meet get better and improve. And if we can do that, we'll be very successful.
So Connor, what are you looking for? What would you see out of the team? And what are some of maybe your individual goals for this coming season?
Well, last year I was really close to qualifying for states. And that definitely is one of my goals, and I definitely think I can reach that. And with some of the freshmen coming in and the sophomores, seeing them run, I definitely think that they have potential to maybe place in sectionals or get high up on sectionals to progress for next year.
Okay. What's one of the best things about coaching the boys winter track team?
Just the kids itself. We have a great group of young men that are out there. Very respectful, very polite. I love seeing them when something clicks. especially one of our shot putters, Vince. When he finally learns what he's doing, it's going to take off, and that's going to help him, in whatever he wants to do in the future. It'll be something, throwing the shot put, he can get looked at, you can get better schooling, better opportunity too. So I like seeing them succeed.
Connor, what's one of the best things about running here at GCIT?
Honestly, the people. I met so many people here, and running with all of them and going on those warm-up runs and everything. It's socializing. It's a lot of fun because it's a time to see everyone and all your friends and stuff.
All right. Well, listen, best of luck to both of you this season. I can't wait to see everybody in action.
Thank you.
Boys winter track team. We are back continuing the preseason show for the winter track team. Here with now the girls track team, we have Coach Wenzel.
Hello.
Isabella Cervantes is here. Thank you for being here. So again, we're a week into the season. Just like the boys, Coach, really good numbers that came out for the girls teams this year. So how were so far the first week of practice?
It's been very good. A lot of the girls we have are cross country runners. Continuing on, I think they had a pretty decent showing this past fall. And it's been pretty good for the first week. We had, flu season and everything, so they're starting to get back to full strength, getting out, and we're seeing some good times out there. We're doing some time trials, and it's working out well.
All right. Isabella, how about you? How are things going so far?
It's going pretty good. We have a big turnout. I'm surprised a lot of freshmen came out because it's not usually a sport that's well known, but it's going pretty well so far.
So Isabella, what is your main event that you do for winter track?
Shot put.
Shot put. So how long have you been doing that for?
7 years.
7 years. Now, what got you into to that?
For a long time, I did soccer, and then I stopped playing soccer, and I was like, well, I just want to do sports. So I started spring track at a Catholic school, and then I just pursued from there.
Okay. So, Coach, like you said, you have a mix of some, cross country. Some people have run before. Also, some new people. So it's got to be kind of cool to work with both types of athlete.
My coaching experience in track, I started as a throwing coach. I'm actually Isabella's coach in the spring at Paulsboro. So I've coached there since she was a freshman in the shot and the discus. And then, when I came into indoor track, being around it for so long, you pick up every event. You understand how to do everything. So it's unique, trying to teach new kids new skills, like hurdling. Today we're going to hurdle, and I've never hurdled in high school, but I know how to do it. Like, I've coached so many kids in hurdlers.
Right.
One of our most successful runners ever made the state meet in hurdles. So seeing them actually want to go out and try, we had kids who just said, yeah, I'll go run at 800 and see what it's like. We always have those kids that will step up, whether they're freshmen, seniors, anyone who comes out always is willing to put the team first, and that's something great.
Okay. So, Isabella, one of the things, you definitely, your shot put there. What are some of the things that you hope to accomplish this year? Like, what would be some of your goals?
I hope to beat my record for GCIT at least 3 times in the meets to hold the higher record for the school. And then I hope to place higher in the sectionals meet, and the main goal is to go to states, but it's out there.
All right, sounds good. How about you, Coach? What are some of the goals that you have for the team?
For the girls, we have a pretty decent sprinting crew and hurdles. Last year, like Isabella mentioned, she was close to making states. Outdoor, she did make states, so her progression hopefully this year in the shot put, so we're looking for there. And the sprints and hurdles as well. We had a shuttle hurdle team for the first time last year, so we're bringing that experience back. So I'd like to see them progress further at sectionals, maybe take a medal at the Tri-County Showcase. We really need to start building up our distance again. We graduated a lot of very good distance runners, so that'll be something we're looking at to improve as well.
Okay. We talked earlier about Coach talked about what's one of the best things with the boys team here, coaching them. What's one of the best things about being part of our winter track program here?
Most people would say the people, but I say the coaches, because I've worked with this guy here for all of my high school career, and he's helped me pursue everything. I've learned the discus, shot put, javelin. I'm really bad at it, but I still try. But the coaches they hold the team together. They really do.
Okay, well, great. That's great. Well, listen, best of luck to both of you this coming season. And like I said before, I can't wait to see you guys out there doing it up.
Thank you.
All right. The winter track team, the girls team.
Just one.
And you're all running at 800. No, not yet.
Hello, we are doing the cheerleading 2022-23 preseason show. With me today, members of the cheerleading team, Coach Mary Bergen and senior cheerleader Chelsea Moore. Congratulations. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Well, I guess a little bit more than a week we've since practices have started. Yeah. I know we've had a lot of people come out for the team, which is a good thing, which is a really good thing. But, Coach, how are things going so far with the team?
I'm very excited. I have a lot of really good ideas for this season, and from all of the students that have come out, I see a lot of potential for the team for both varsity and JV. And I think it's going to be a promising year, especially for competition. All right.
So, Chelsea, how about you? How are things going so far?
I feel like they're going great. I feel like we're gaining good people, and we are able to bond with the people more this year, especially since there's no COVID in the way. And yeah, I think everything's just going to go smoothly and fun.
So how long have you been doing cheerleading?
I've been doing cheerleading all 4 years.
All 4 years? Yeah. Did you start before high school?
Actually, no. Freshman year was my first year.
Okay. You have some that have been doing competitions. They've been involved maybe in their other schools doing things, but you also have some that haven't done that. Yep. Which is it's interesting. You get a mix of both. Yep. It's got to be an interesting time. How do you work all that with the practices?
So it's actually kind of easy. A lot of the girls that do competition cheer, their practices don't start until after like 5:30 at night, and we end practice at like 4:30 sometimes, depending on where we're at in the season. So it's really easy to work around schedules. Girls that have never cheered before, most of the time, I don't have a problem with them even making the JV team. Like, as long as they come out, they have the heart, they have the want to learn. Like, you don't need 5 seconds of experience. Like, everybody has, like the even playing field when they come out and try out. And this year, I think there's a lot of girls that have never cheered before that are actually making the cut, and I love it. It's like, it's so exciting, having like somebody new to mold into like the cheerleading world.
So, each season brings up new things. Obviously we do the boys and the girls basketball games, and they've been very competitive, and we've had some very good crowds, and I'm expecting some very good crowds for this year, and definitely with the cheerleaders there, it's always great to see and to help to boost everything that's going on. What's one of the best things that you like about doing the cheerleading here at GCIT, Chelsea?
I feel like the collaboration. I like working with others. So, and then I like seeing everything come together. And then Coach B has a lot of great ideas too. So when we execute their ideas that she contributes to the dance and the cheers and things, I think it just looks very good and it's very fun, and I just like it. It's just, yeah.
Okay. What's one of the best things about coaching the cheer team here?
They're kind of like, they remind me of me, and I get to see on the other side, like young women just growing into like these beautiful people and coming together and making friends and growing within themselves and coming out of their shells. I mean, I had this one girl who was so shy, but she had the biggest heart, and I was like, no question, varsity, like, you're in it to win it. And from the first day of practice last season to now that she's come back to help out with tryouts this season, she is a whole new person. And like, being able to see the confidence come out in the girls is just amazing. I'm like, yes, welcome to the world. Like, shine, like, be you. I love it.
And you are a former GCIT cheerleader,
yes,
too.
Yes, all 4 years.
Yes. So, you know what? We do have the competition at the end of the year, NJTAC. So what are, maybe you have goals for the team this year?
I feel like my goal is to execute everything correctly. I mean, I feel like we're going to do it anyway. We're just going to do it. We're going to win. I have a positive view towards it, and I want everyone else to have a positive view towards it, because I feel like your mindset can change a lot of things. So if you have a positive view towards our competition and how we're going to go and do things, then we're going to do good. But if we have a negative mindset, then it's just not going to go as well. So yeah, a lot of positivity towards the competition so that we'll be able to perform well.
All right. Well, listen, best of luck to both of you and the team this year. Look forward to seeing you out there.
We're very excited.
Yeah.
The GCIT cheerleading team. Hello, here we are at the 2022-23 diving preseason show. Two members of the team here, Coach Rob Tender and diver Brian Lowry. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. We've been, about a week of practice so far?
About a weekend.
Yeah, about a weekend. So, Coach, how are things going?
Looking good. I think the team's got a lot of promise this year. I'm excited to see how everyone competes. A lot of returning divers. It's a little smaller than it was last year, but we're excited with the talent that we see so far.
So Coach Tender comes to us this year as a first year here coaching diving, but you have coached for quite a number of years at some other places. Happy to have you here. So how's your experience so far here at GCIT?
It's been fantastic. Loved it. Kids have been fantastic. The athletes have been very welcoming. The staff has been welcoming. Obviously the pool facility is fantastic too, so nothing bad we could say.
So Brian, how long have you been diving for?
I've been diving for the past 2 years.
Now what got you into diving?
Well, I was free one time and Miss Lindsay asked me to try out for the dive team. Tried it, found a love for it. It's been going at it every day since.
And you also do swim for the team.
Yeah, I do swim as well.
You know, so, and I know that you're working with Coach Miller. I know the dive, we've always worked well together, you know, going back and forth. And we have our batch meets on Monday, and then the meets are the rest of the week. So it's good that we're able to work our time in as we go through. So, you know, I've always spoken about, like, diving is just an interesting sport in that, you know, we don't have a dual meet per se against another team, but again, we have a lot of people come over for our batch meets on Monday, not just in our conference, but outside the conference. And, you know, it's a tough sport because, you know, you got to control that fear a little bit, you know. When you go off the board, some people, it's not too bad. Well, you're trying to, you know, keep your body, doing some things, and you're doing a turn and all, you know, there's some, you know, definitely things you have to overcome. So you've had some people with experience and without experience. How do you coach that at the same time at different levels?
That's a good question. I think anyone that's willing to try, push themselves and get out of their comfort zone a little bit is going to be good at this sport. You know, if you have a background in cheer or gymnastics or anything like that, obviously that helps. Some of my best athletes in the past were wrestlers, believe it or not, getting used to, like, getting flipped around and twisted around and know where top and bottom is. But, you know, we work with everyone's strengths and abilities. So we start off with, you know, where you are, build on the talent that you have, and, you know, we progress through the season and, you know, we do the best that we can.
Totally agree with you about the good athletes and wrestlers. But Brian, you know, what was one probably maybe the harder things or things you had to get adjusted to when you started diving?
I think the hardest thing is just, like, knowing where you're at in the air. It's always like, so, like, you're spinning so fast up in the air, like doing doubles, 2.5s. You just got to find, like it's just water. I think about it, it's just water. It can't hurt that bad. You're going to flop, you're going to flop. But, like, you just got to have that mindset of, like, if you fall, like, you got to learn. That's how you learn. If you're going to fail on dives, but you just got to take it and learn it, and when you make corrections about it.
Sounds good. So, you know, and on the female side, we've had a couple divers last year did very well, you know, and obviously a lot of times you're trying to, we have the TCC showcase, you have the Gloucester County, and we have the South Jersey 6 and 11 dive meets, and obviously everyone's trying to get to the score points to get to that state meet. Yeah. So, Coach, what are some of your goals you're trying to instill in the team? What would you like to see for this coming season?
I think this year, build a foundation that, you know, now being a new coach, you know, our athletes understand where I'm coming from and, you know, what I expect from them. And then obviously build on their talents that they learned from Coach Lindsay, and then, you know, progress from there in a positive way. Try to move forward. Try to get as many people as we can to TCC champs, you know, as many as we can to state championships and 11 dives. Build on their diving list, and then, you know, their own individual goals as well. So I ask them, you know, what they're looking for out of the season. I try to, you know, coach to them too, because, you know, we're here for the kids. So I want them to feel like they're successful, team successful, and, you know, do the best they can this season.
So what are some of your goals for the dive team this season?
My goals are probably score over a 130. I know the record's pretty close to, like, for the guys, like a 140 area. Maybe get up there, get close. So next year I could try to knock that out for my senior year. Probably stick a double back. I did it at the late end of the season. Try to do that again. Maybe hit a 2.5. I'll see.
Okay, well, good goals. Good goals.
Yeah.
Well, listen, best of luck to both of you, and I can't wait to see you out there.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
GCIT diving team.
check out a little bit earlier on that, and then that's going to control get you down more work.
I'd like to thank everyone for watching our preseason show. Hope to see everyone out at all our contests this year. Thank you, and go Cheetahs.